it's important to note that all registered businesses are agents of KRA. That upon registration, we said, the registration certificate empowers you to charge or to collect VAT on behalf of KRA. But now, when the commissioner appoints a particular organization, usually large taxpayers, organization is a withholding VAT agent, it simply means that the agent or the appointed agent withholds 6% out of 16% VAT payable on supplies. The other implication is that the appointed agent issues the supplier with a withholding VAT certificate or withholding tax certificate which proves or is proof of withheld VAT. Then the third thing is that the supplier uses the withholding tax certificate to claim input VAT. That is the implication. So once appointed a withholding VAT agent, and you say you've got to be a large taxpayer for the commissioner to do that, he gives you the authority to withhold 6%. And therefore, if you're withholding, if VAT rate is 16%, see, the total VAT rate, the standard VAT, standard rate is 16%. So saying out of this 16%, remember you have an obligation as a business to pay VAT on all your taxable supplies. So to all your suppliers, you must pay VAT. From your customers, you collect VAT. So the standard rate is 16%. Out of this 16%, you withhold 10%. You withhold 6%. And you pay to the supplier 10%. Now the rationale behind that is that by the supplier withholding, by the customer withholding 6%, the commissioner is able to get that money in lump sum. And when the customer pays, or the withholding agent pays 10%, he allows the business to be able to recover input VAT from output VAT, because again, this is one of the reasons that can lead to a refund by the commissioner. That among what we've talked about, the reasons that may make the commissioner to refund money that had been previously paid by a taxpayer in form of VAT, the other reason could be that the taxpayer sells mostly to withholding VAT agents, therefore they retain the VAT and is unable to recover input VAT from whatever remains as output VAT. So once you're appointed, you withhold 6%, pay 10% to your suppliers, and then as proof of having withheld 6%, you issue your suppliers with a withholding tax certificate, which they're going to use to claim input VAT. For example, let's take an illustration where a company, let's XYZ Limited, made taxable supplies amounting to 5 million shillings, exclusive of VAT, to ABC Enterprises, that is a withholding tax agent. So, in such a case, we want to compute how much. So this is price is 5 million. So the selling price, which is the value for VAT, is 5 million shillings. So on this, VAT is prices exclusive. We said we use 16% of 5 million shillings. So ABC Enterprises is supposed to pay VAT amounting to 5 million value times 16%, which is 800,000. So 800,000. But because they are a withholding tax agent, so here ABC, which is a withholding tax agent, is supposed to pay a total input VAT, as far as this transaction is concerned, amounting to 800,000, which is equal to 16%. Because here the VAT, 16% of 5 million is 800,000. So this is the VAT they are supposed to pay, 16%. So in splitting, they will retain 6 over 16 times 800,000. That amounts to 6 over 16 times 800,000. $300,000. And then they will pay, so this is retained or withheld. And then they pay 10 over 16 times 800,000, which is 10 divided by 16 times 800,000. 500,000. This is pay to their supplier. The supplier is XYZ Limited. Okay, so they withhold 6%, they pay 10%, and in addition to the 10%, they issue a withholding tax certificate that shows that they have actually retained 300,000. So that to KRA, because this is going to be remitted by ABC to KRA, to in their input VAT, they will still deduct 800,000, the 500 they received, and the 300,000 that was withheld by ABC Limited.